Hello, everyone, and greetings for the day. Welcome back to another live session of our channel, which is to talk about, listen to you, and respond to your queries. And we welcome you aboard again on one of the live sessions. And looking forward to great questions coming up from all the participants once again. And it's always a good interaction for us when we look forward to listen to our viewers, listen to our audience, and try understanding how exactly. Uh, they are finding the content useful, they are finding the material helpful for them to prepare for the certification, and we just want to take up an extra step to help everyone understand more about what exactly their questions could be, their challenges could be while interacting with the testing world, working on certain aspects of testing. Moreover, importantly, talking about certification is sometimes really difficult to manage with some of the keywords and certain definitions. And that's where this channel takes the opportunity to interact, come live, and listen to your query, listen to your questions, and respond to them. And I'm back again. So currently, I'm outside my country. I'm in Malaysia right now, and as some of you would be aware, I'm in Malaysia right now. And yes, as committed, I'm still back again and helping you all to interact with and sort out your questions, queries about testing. So this live session is mainly to listen to your queries, your questions, which could be related to testing concepts, certifications of ISTQB, about automation testing tools, or how should you be looking forward to yourself as a QA engineer. What should be the career path of being an engineer as a QA? So you can look forward to ask me any of these questions, and I would be more than happy to assist you by responding to these questions right here in this live session. So go ahead, team. If you got a question, do not hesitate. Look forward to drop them in the chat box, and I'll be picking up them, talking about it, and providing all necessary support to understand that context, concept, and give you the necessary support to understand the response. So we are back again, and welcome aboard. Welcome everyone, whoever is looking forward to have their participation to this live session. And we are looking forward to more questions for today as well. As people are slowly joining in, this there is a boot camp being built up on the channel right now, and we are trying to create tutorials on the fundamentals of software testing and helping people who are from non-technical domain or people who are looking forward to become a QA in the world of technology, a boot camp which is going to give you all the fundamental understanding what exactly testing is all about, what it takes for you to become a QA engineer, what kind of concepts you should be aware of, and a lot many other things like that, right? So if in case you are one among them who is new to QA or looking forward to become a QA, or maybe you are from a non-IT domain, would like to switch to IT domain, and the option what you are looking forward to is QA, then make sure this playlist is for you. I want you to go ahead and refer and look forward to interact with those tutorials, learn, and let me know if you have any questions, because the whole concept is to help people understand and build a good understanding on the testing concept. So make sure that you reach out to me. Feel free to drop your queries, feel free to drop your questions, and I would be more than happy to respond to them, right? Okay, the very first comment coming in from Deepika says, "Hello, sir. Very good evening." Deepika, if you got a question, just let me know. I'm more than happy to assist you here. Okay, I think again we are just waiting for a few more lot people to join us, and we'll be looking forward to them to participate in here and drop their questions. So, team, if you got a question, just do not hesitate. Let that question be anything, be it a simple question, be it kind of a question which may sound that it is uh, silly to maybe many others, but for you it is a question. So for you, you are supposed to go ahead and drop your queries at any point of time. Okay, Deepika says, which kind of questions ask in the exam? All right, Deepika, we got a whole set of playlist available for you, and you can certainly look forward to learn from that playlist and get an idea that how exactly the questions will be framed. And the questions are not difficult. It's just that the questions are very simple, typical way of answering the concepts of testing. So if you just look into this playlist, which I'm just quickly dropping you on the chat, right? You would see that this entire playlist consists of all that information what you need to know about the examination questions, right? So feel free to just go there, and we have collection of 120 questions, which is just not a question. It is going to be explanation of what exactly the question is all about, what are the options given to you, and how these options can be answered during the examination, right? So you can look forward to all that, which would answer your question in very detailed way. Okay, and right in parallel during this live session itself, you can just open a new tab, maybe play one of the videos, and let me know if you really find your answer there. And if you still have any questions, just let me know. All right, Ian, go ahead. If you've got a question, do not hesitate. This live session is only to respond to your queries, assist you well with your concerns regarding testing and related concepts. So make sure that you make most out of this opportunity when we connect together. I'm also gonna be having another important update. We'll be securing kind of like most important interview of testing, and we, as usual, being the first channel, is gonna get opportunity to talk to the most important leader of testing, and yeah, we're gonna deal with I don't want to disclose the name right now because that may ruin the surprise. But trust me, you're gonna have a lot of things to be discussed and heard from that person, and I'm gonna have this published next week somewhere. So make sure that you stay tuned, and you're gonna have someone on the show who's gonna really be looked forward to, and the person will tell you more about why exactly testing came into picture and why ISTQB is so important, right? So yeah, we got a small surprise for you. We are coming up with another set of event, and talking to the experts and those who are well known about their world in testing, and we're gonna bring up to all their content with you through this channel. So make sure that you keep an eye, and mostly like every week or maybe every fortnight, you may expect some these kind of surprises. And the best part is we are getting started with someone who is kind of quite popular than me on the world testing. Okay, we got Paresh. Paresh says, please share the link of ISTQB Agile exam preparation. Also, please guide how to prepare for the same. Okay, so when it comes to the Agile certification, Agile has a foundation level certification, and at the same time has an advanced level certification too. So the first, anybody has to get started with foundation. There is no way you can jump to the advanced level Agile certification without the foundation Agile certification, right? So we call the certification as Agile Tester Extension. Okay. And this Agile Tester Extension is the foundation level Agile certification. And I've just dropped the playlist link to you. You can go through all the tutorials here. The set of tutorials which we have here is going to really help you to build up the understanding of the content, the type of examination questions, what kind of understanding one need to possess in order to succeed with the examination. And there are a lot of success stories right below that in the comments also. Each video has comments where people have mentioned that, hey, this is what the approach I used in order to get passed through this examination, right? So you can look forward to all those things right at one place. So number one thing is going through the playlist will be the first thing to get started with the preparation. Side by side, I would suggest you strongly to go through the official syllabus copy, which you can find on the istqb.org official website of ISTQB. Download that PDF, and as you complete each topic in a video, do cover parallelly on the PDF as well. If not, finish the entire chapter and then look into the PDF and do a quick run through, and that would give you better confidence. The general reason why I suggest this approach is because When you listen to the videos, you get the understanding of the content. But when you go through the PDF, you make sure that I have not missed out anything important in my video. You get a double confidence that, hey, what the syllabus is asking, this video talks about this. If in case I have missed out anything, by going through the PDF, you are covering that, right? And don't forget, what I'm teaching is one way communication, right? You just listen to that conversation. But when you read it yourself, you are making yourself more confident that, okay, I have read it myself. I know what exactly it is, right? So I would suggest this approach to make sure you start with your preparation with a very strong foundation, and then look at the sample questions which are available on the official website. Try answering them, try justifying them, that why the right answers are correct and why the other options are not correct, and that would do the job. Once you're done with this preparation, you are good to get started with your scheduling of the examination, and you can take up the examination pretty well. Okay, so all the very best and happy learning. Do let me know, Paresh, you have any more questions. Don't forget to drop a thumbs up on this live session, team. We would like the world to know. Either you drop a thumbs up or you share this video with your colleagues, your friends. It's just going to let the world know that there is a live session happening where people can come and ask their questions without any criteria. We don't really, push them to be a subscriber or maybe a member of this channel, but we just want to make sure that most people come here to this live session and get their doubts clarified, get their queries answered. So that's the whole intention of making this video, having a great number of likes and being shared among the rest of the people. So if you have a colleague who is interested to get some questions clarified, or any of your friend who thinks that there are pending questions which he needs an answer to, then feel free to drop this reference to them. We connect every Saturday, okay? Every Saturday between 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time, no matter where we are. So right now I'm in Malaysia, but I'm still trying to do this session for you. So the reason is commitment is important, right? If I promise you something, I should be fulfilling that. And so I would need your participation in there from. So if you, I can take care of making myself available to push you with everything what you need, then I think you can just do a bit of courtesy to help your colleagues, your friends, to get through, their answers, right? Okay, Paris says, thank you so much. I will surely follow the same and get back to you if I have any questions. Also, like to thank you for your wonderful series of ISTQB. I followed the same and finally cleared the exam. Thank you so much, Paris, for letting us know about your results of the ISTQB Foundation. That pretty much uh, gives me a confidence that you may not be facing any challenges when you're preparing for your Agile certification. Because once somebody has learned in the way I've taught them, right, it does not become complicated for them to follow the next level, because they get used to that instructor, they get used to understanding that how exactly this person teaches a concept, right? You have a flow well determined for you, right? So it will be simple. And congratulations on the success. Thanks for your compliments, feedback on the content, and we are looking forward to your next certification being added to your profile. All right. Paresh also says in the next 2 weeks I'll be going to write the examination Agile exam. Okay, that's good. Thank you. Thank you so much for letting us know about your schedule too. Just make sure that you spend enough time. The content will be limited when it comes to Agile, because it does not talk about everything about testing, right? It's particularly on the Agile side of it, that what exactly Agile methodology is, and not just limited to Agile as a Scrum Master. This is a Agile tester certification. So every single phase, every single event, they'll be talking from the perspective of a tester's participation in the process, right? And you need to remember that you need to mold yourself towards an Agile tester. The whole intention of teaching about the certification is to make you a tester who can perform testing within an agile methodology, right? So keep in sight, okay, keep a kind of intuition in mind that, okay, what my role and participation will be if I'm a tester in the agile methodology, right? And you will get everything well aligned, everything so thoroughly defined that you don't have to by heart the content. You just have to kind of understand it, right? And everything will go in the flow. So make sure that you follow that approach and prepare through, and just let me know if you got any questions to, you know, get answered. So all the very best, Paresh, and do let me know if you think you still have any more questions, and I would be happy to answer them. Yes, team. Looking forward to more and more questions for today. We just quarter past our session, and we are yet to look forward to more and more questions for today. And I'm looking forward to answer them. All right, Precious. Thank you. You're welcome. Uh, Anyone else has any other question? We have got a lot of time as we are just getting started. Make sure you make most out of this opportunity when I connect live with you, because not every instructor does that on YouTube or Udemy, right? And we are the only people, we are only the channel in the world which I can proudly claim that we take some time out to interact with our audience and listen to their questions, not to tell our updates that, hey, this is what I'm trying to do, this is what is happening, and all about our life, etc. We just dedicate this 1 hour time to listen to your queries as much as possible and respond to them, right? So, yeah. Okay, we got Romeo. Thanks for the streaming. Do we need an experience certificate for the test manager exam? Oh, yes, you would need. There's a prerequisite to appear for the advanced level certifications, and the prerequisite is you should be having at least of 18 months of experience. I repeat, 18 months of experience. 18 months is equal to 1.5 years, right? Like 1 year, 6 months time is what you need to showcase. So any of your relieving letter from the previous company, or just a letter stating that, hey, this person has been working in my organization for the last 3 years and still employed with our organization, would do the job of it, right? And it is a documentation for the examination prerequisite. So you would need this to, submit before applying for the examination, right? Or during the process of application. So yes, you would need an experience certificate, which will justify that you are working in the IT industry as a software tester for at least last 18 months, right? And yeah, that would go in line. Anything else, just let me know. Hamid says, hi, dear sir. Hi, Hamid. Oh, greetings for the day. Good to join your session after a long time. Welcome back, Hamid. We always look forward to participants like you who can really have all their queries posted here, and we look forward to respond to them. Hamid also says, just noticed that you have changed your background, but one thing is missing, Team Square t-shirt. I've not changed my background. I'm actually outside India. Right now I'm in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and I'm staying in a hotel. So this is the hotel background, and this is the commitment that I promise people that I'll be here with you on Saturday. So I'm in Malaysia right now and doing the live session from here. So I have not changed my background. I'll be back to my ordinary background next week again. Uh, it, George says, hey, I'm confident my 5 years experience in QA plus ISTQB Foundation certifications, some practice and motivation to keep learning and growing will help me get my first manual QA job. What do you think? Uh, Pretty much. I think we have great examples on our channel itself where people have done it right from the scratch. There were someone who didn't know anything. In fact, I can give you some of the examples who interacted with me quite often, and they were not even from kind of graduation. Like they did not even complete their graduation, and they just wanted to kick off with their work, right? And I'm not talking about the criteria here. I'm not talking about the eligibility that, hey, someone can get hired as a QA without a graduation, like undergraduate degree or something. No, that's not the subject here. The point is that person started from the scratch, built up the understanding, took the ISTQB foundation, took the ISTQB mobile tester certification, took the Agile certification, and now targeting the test analyst with having multiple offers in hand, right? Multiple offers in hand. So the point here to tell you this example is that yes, your first QA job can be done with this 5 years of experience in QA, right? And again, when you say 5 years of experience in QA and then you say getting my first manual QA job, I'm a little confused. Let me read your second comment also. My QA experience is in hardware quality control and servers, but defect reporting, communication, initiatives for improving the process are present there as well. It's a technical position. I understand. So you are basically in a QC role right now. All you're planning to move into is a QA role, right? So yeah, that certainly adds a lot of value. Your 5 years experience does matter, but yeah, there will be slightly bit of transformation which will be happening, that you will be now contributing to a process, interacting with different stakeholders, and having some kind of up and downs here and there. But trust me, this motivation what you have, the certification what you will attain, will certainly get you to the new job for sure. When people without graduation, without any experience can make it happen, then I think you have a lot of prerequisite already fulfilled. So, all the best, George, and do let me know if you think anything else I can answer. Don't forget to drop a thumbs up, team, if you're happy with the service which I'm providing, just in case you're happy. Okay, Hamid says, Neer sir, what framework do you think is worth learning when it comes to test automation of websites and based web-based applications like Cypress or Selenium? Okay, so when it comes to the test automation frameworks, we certainly have a great set of standard frameworks available. We have 5 standard frameworks which an automation engineer should know. Number one is modularization. Modularization framework is more about building up a framework module by module. For example, if I have 100 different activities to be performed by a user on an application, then I don't create it in a single test. I break this 100 different actions into 100 unique independent tests. Now, what's the point of doing it? When it comes to automation, I don't really have to follow a sequence, right? That, hey, in order to run the 60th test, I have to run all the 159, right? I can directly go from 1, 10, 60. That's modularization. The second one is data driven testing. The data driven framework is more about running a single set of instruction with multiple set of data. If I want to run a test which is written once, but it should reiterate for several number of times with different set of data, now that's where the data driven testing comes into picture. Same way we have library framework. The library framework is mainly from the point of interacting with set of functions which are stored, and we call out the function, okay, instead of writing the script again and again. An automation engineer has to look forward to minimizing their effort and reducing the cost of maintaining the automation scripts. So you build up a library of functions. That means all your tests will be called out in a particular function, and you just call that function out whenever you want to run a test. We call it as library framework. At the same time, when you talk about keyword driven framework, where a test can be called directly using a keyword rather than just deciding what to run and what not to run. So when you have a pool, just like modularized test, pool of tests which consists of a lot of test cases like regression testing, you would need to call some hand-picked test cases at points. Not all the tests need to be executed, right? So if you have given your each of the tests with a unique test case or unique keyword, then keyword-driven testing or framework can be created, right? So, and finally, the hybrid. The hybrid framework is something which leads you to combine multiple things together, multiple frameworks together, and call it out as one final framework. So that's hybrid framework. Okay. So these are some of the great frameworks which you should know being an automation engineer. And this is applicable in any of the automation tool. It's not just limited to Cypress or kind of Selenium. Even if you're learning UFT, Tosca, UiPath, these automation frameworks are fundamentals. It works everywhere. Amit also says because the demand of automation testing is increasing, companies nowadays looking for people who can both do good manual as well as automation. Yep, you're pretty much correct. And yes, you would need good understanding of automation to compete there. Okay, Romeo says, thanks for your answer. The question, I have a follow-up question. I work in automotive sector and I have an experience certificate where development and testing experience is mentioned. Will it be enough? Oh yeah, you just need to say that, yeah, 18 months. So they won't dig into that, okay? They don't dig into like how many QA, how many development. It's just that kind of, the experience when you they just put your designation there. Okay, for example, when you look at your relieving letters, right, if you have quit organizations and jumped into different jobs, you would see they just mention, hey, so and so, maybe say, for example, you have worked with their organization from between this duration to that duration, like this date to that date, and the designation was software engineer. They don't elaborate basically that what was your key involvement. They just say he was a software engineer or he was a QA engineer. That's it, right? So they just want an experience stating that you have been working in this industry for some time and you know how exactly it works. That's it. So not to worry about that. And when the numbers are huge, like 7 years, 8 years, they still don't go into deep dive. So that would do. All right, we have another one coming in from Prema. Prema says, Prema Sai. Hi, sir. I'm going to take ISTQB certificate foundation level. Would you give any suggestions? No, I think I would just give the same ordinary set of suggestions to any of our participants taking up the examination is to just remind you that you should have that confidence on the content, which is very crucial. A lot of time people just prepare for it, go through the videos, but do not have that confidence. The confidence means that when you look at a question, you are able to judge that what are they trying to ask you, because the options are not always so easy to get you to the right answer. If you understand the question correctly, the right answer is driven by that, right? So confidence will help you to come to the conclusion appropriately, not just randomly that, hey, I think this is the right answer. No, I'm damn sure this is the right answer. This is what they're asking us. Sometimes it is content driven, sometimes it is question driven, sometimes it is option driven as well. That in options, they will try to do some tricky involvement, and they would like to see how much attentive you are to each and every word and come to the conclusion. So anything can be possible. So I want you to make sure that you build up that particular confidence, that you look at the question and you get to know what exactly they're trying to ask you. And I'm not sure if you have been through this playlist of mine where I've discussed the 120 questions with the great explanation and how exactly to tackle each and every exam question. Please use this link if in case you have not already, and go through these 120 question explanation, that how to read a question, how to look at the options, how to come to the conclusion. So all that will be answered here. And that is what you need to do to take up your examination, and you're good. Okay. So all the very best, Sai, and do let me know if you think you have any more questions for me. All right, Romeo says, I don't want to ask my current company for experience certificates as my manager might think that I'll look to change the job soon. Yeah, sounds interesting. Of course, they may think of like that. But trust me, your manager, if he or she is, of course, experienced, would understand that in order to get a job, you don't need experience letter. It's just salary slip, which can be produced to any organization to look for a new job. You can always mention in the subject that, hey, this is one of the criteria, one of the criteria which where I have to justify that I have been working into testing for 18 months, and failing that could lead into my rejection of my application, which could not add value to my portfolio, then there is no such organization which would hold it back. Okay, so just be transparent that hey, this is what the ISTQB expectations are, and I think the company should support me with this to add more value to my certification. And managers understand that without relieving letter, without experience letter also, you can always get a job, right? It's your salary slip which HRs are interested in, not anything else. That all happens after you accept the offer, right? After you accept the offer, they ask you with a checklist that, hey, give me this, give me that, give me this, give me that. But all to get started with the discussion to look for a new job, all you need is a resume and the salary slip. That's it. So don't worry, you don't have to hesitate. You can just ask your manager to get the right documentation. Okay. All right. Don't forget to drop a thumbs up, team, if you're happy. And we just want you this live session to be spread globally so much that people who have questions can come here and get their doubts clarified. George says, thank you for the advisor, sir. I'm definitely decided to grow in QA. I'm going to do a lot of self teaching, research, and talk to people from the field for doing this right as until now. I really appreciate that, George, because we want people to be self motivated, our QA community to be well organized in a way that they know what to do for themselves and how to progress in their career from time to time, right? So I really appreciate that. And yeah, I'm also sure that you would go ahead and do it pretty much well. So all the very best, George. You think anything else I can help you with, just feel free to let me know. Hamid says, so sir, can you please give me some example of scenarios that can never be automated? Okay, never be automated can have multiple possibilities. Number one, you can talk about unstable product, a product which is being tried on IDS, right, where you don't have fixed requirements, and the functionality keep changing now and then, maybe on daily basis too. Now, such unstable products are not a good product to be automated, because every time you try automating it, next day something or the other in the application changes, and that change uh, discards all your automation work, right? Because automation works on the principle of object identification. Object identification works on the principle of the object properties and existence of the object on the application, right? For example, if I had a name text field which was supposed to accept characters, now it has been modified to accept anything else, then the properties have changed. Now my automation script, which was supposed to identify this object based on the property which was given earlier, now if the properties have been modified, this script will no longer work. Right? So very first scenario, a very simple scenario to understand this is that unstable code, unstable development can never lead you to create automation. The second thing is a platform, a language or combination of language which is not supported by the automation tool. And I'm not saying that we don't have a tool support. It might be possible that you're using a tool which does not support that language or that platform, right? You might need some other tool. Or there might be a possibility you're coming with something as a product which does not have an automation support at all. For example, testing some hardware products, testing some specific uh, games or specific kind of embedded systems. I don't have an automation tool to do that job, right? Or kind of modeling tools. There are hundreds of examples you can search that which do not have an automation solution. So people do their custom build tools creation internally to come over that problem, but sometimes it's so challenging that you cannot create your own tool as well. So such things will be held back, stating these are some of the scenarios which we cannot establish an automation script for. Similarly, there are a number of reasons. If you go on talking, you would understand environment is a constraint, Interaction with the application is a constraint. You can always build a script, but whenever it comes to running, the properties are dynamic. There are no unique static properties. Okay, for example, your application is built on a platform where, from a security point of view, it is having dynamic attributes. That every time you refresh the page, the property or attributes changes, or it just has different unique IDs, different names, or could be anything else. Today, you can even build an entire application without any properties, right? So, in such cases, automation does not work. So, if you go continue talking about this, you will find several attributes which tells us that hey, these are the different n number of reasons where automation testing is not possible. Okay, I was asked this question in one of the interviews and had no idea what to answer. Now I think you should have some idea to answer that. Romeo says, thanks a lot, sir. Your videos were helpful in foundation level exam. Now I will try for test manager level. Thank you so much for letting us know. Congratulations on the certification of foundation level, first of all. And thank you so much for sharing your feedback. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to our audience because they always look forward to the mouth of word from the people who are using it. And that recommendation makes a lot of sense to the audience looking forward to learn from this content. And moreover, I think Test Manager is the most quality product on the internet today, which I have in my playlist. No one else has that detailed set of tutorials to help anyone get certified with Test Manager. And the best part is we already got success, like from a lot of participants who let us know that, yeah, they could go through the playlist, understand the content, and succeed in the examination. So it's been proven that the material is very helpful, and I wish you all the very best for your examination on the test manager. Do let me know anytime you think you need any further help. Okay, Sai says, sir, I'm preparing from your material for ISTQB Foundation 2022, which you updated latest. Is it sufficient, or should I follow any other material? No, Sai. I think the syllabus what we have is the same since 2018, so it will be valid whatever videos I have on the foundation level. So go ahead and make use of them. The second is the playlist which I just mentioned on the top. That playlist is basically the sample question discussion. So that playlist will equally add a lot of value to your preparation and give you better confidence to respond to the examination questions more effectively, right? So two things I would suggest: one is the tutorials to learn the content, and second is the sample question discussion, which would give you a lot of confidence. So all the very best, and do let me know if you think anything else I can answer you. Hami says, thanks, Neer sir, for the best explanation. I will impress the interviewer next time if the question is asked again. Always. We have just a small objective here by creating this channel, building up this material or knowledge base, is to help people gain that confidence that, yeah, I have answers to all the questions. And just as a part of the same goal, we do this live session with no matter limited participation, but yet important, right? For me, even one participant is important when they come here to this live session and ask me a question, because their question somebody has to answer, and there's nobody looking forward to answer them. So even if one person joins this live session in 60 minutes of time and ask me a question and answer that, I think my live session is successful, right? Because the objective of this live session is to do the Q&A. You ask me the question and I'm here to assist you. So we just look forward to that. So thank you so much, Hamid, for your feedback. It really makes a lot of sense. In fact, gives me that inspiration to continue keeping up the good work, because we just want to help people, and when people find it useful, it certainly gives us back as a reward that, yeah, what we started with is working out. Okay, Sai says, sir, can you suggest some of the real-time projects on manual testing? Uh, Not sure exactly if I can have a platform where you can look forward to real-time projects, but yeah, you may talk to some of the some of your colleagues, some of your friends. you can help you to shed out some knowledge from how we write the test cases. This is how it happens in the real time industry. Okay, so you would need a kind of a formal training from a professional who is already working in QA, and you should approach someone who can really tell you about that how exactly things are done in the reality. And again, don't just depend on that person, because every single project, every single organization may have their different way of doing it, right? So talk to multiple people, listen to what their approach is, and then come to a conclusion that, hey, it depends on several factors when it comes to writing test cases, when it comes to deciding on automation, and many other facts, right? So, yeah, that's the best way to talk about the uh, real time projects. And other than that, there's no possibility to get into a real time project. George says, I appreciate your commitment towards doing everything for people you wish to start a career in QA or improve their existing ones. You are doing a great work for me. Personally, this is as impressive. Thank you so much, George. It really, really keeps me fueled up when people come up with such bold comments and such bold compliments that, I'm doing a good work. More importantly, it all started with when I came to internet to do something for myself, and I realized that there are people who are creating testing related content, but they don't give you everything. Okay, in fact, if you compete with go with the other channels who are providing ISTQB support, you would find that either their content is limited to 2 to 3 minutes of video, or they don't want to let everything being disclosed on the YouTube for free, and they just don't want you to learn everything from internet and give nothing to them. Right? So there are good people. I'm not saying the instructors are not good. They are good, but they don't want to shed out all the information right here. So I said, what happens to those people who cannot afford a proper formal training? Because sometimes trainings are expensive and you don't have budget to pay for it. So I wanted to cover that group of people who found it difficult to afford a training, be it maybe $100, but yeah, it was expensive for them. So I thought of sharing my knowledge here without any compromise, without any cutting on the knowledge, and just gave my best when I was creating the videos, so that people don't have to go anywhere else or don't have any open questions when you listen to the tutorials and get through that. So the overall thing was to make sure that you have an internet knowledge base where you can heavily rely on, and you can get to learn things what you really want to know when you just start watching a video. The end goal should be delivered, like what is testing, why testing is necessary, what are the principles of testing. As you start on the point 1 second, and when you finish on the 10th minute, you have everything about it, right? So this is where I wanted to do it better. And when I hear these kind of comments, it really makes sense to me that, all right, I think I have achieved my goal where I wanted to build this for people, and people are happily, getting that output which I always wanted to pass on. So thank you so much for that, George. Okay, George also has, I think, suggestion for Sai. Maybe you can use Jira. Let's say create your own project there and select some website or app and practice on that. Select small features and test them yourself after your requirements. Yeah, that's to implement. But yes, of course, Sai, if that works for you, you can go ahead and do that. But real-time projects on manual testing, I think he was more interested on the side of getting to look on how the real-time projects are being managed from the testing side. George also says, yes, Neeraj sir, that's something I noticed in your content. Besides the other things that are out there, information that you offer is very valuable. Thank you so much for recognizing that. It pretty much makes a lot of sense. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, team, do not forget to drop a thumbs up if you are happy with the service here. And we just want YouTube to know that, the world to know that this is the live session where we are kind of without any criteria, looking forward to respond to people. on their questions, on their queries about testing. And just for a good cause, you will be dropping a like, you may be sharing this video with your friends, or maybe sharing the channel link with your colleagues, and you are just doing the bit of community work, which will be adding more value to build a better community of QA tomorrow. So thank you so much for doing that. Hey, we got SM here. SM, how are you? Hi, sir. Grace for the day. Uh, Please elaborate on alpha and beta testing. I'm taking my foundation next week. Please wish me good luck. Okay, so let me start with the question which you asked, like alpha and beta testing. These are the two levels of acceptance testing. Alpha testing being of its own kind, the business, that is the customer, perform the testing. The unique thing about alpha testing, or they both the levels are a part of user acceptance testing, right? Where a user has to test the system. We have done all our testing during unit integration and system testing. Now it's time we call the customer that, hey, your product is ready, which you placed a few months ago. Now you can come and collect it. Before we collect, the customer performs a round of testing, and that's what you call it as user acceptance testing. But it does not happen in once for all. There are two levels of it: alpha testing and beta testing. Alpha testing is where business users, okay, where the customer perform testing on the product. But it's not always mandatory that the customer is the end user of the product. Sometimes the customer, if I'm talking about a bank who's building up a software for the automated teller machine or a software to control credit card transactions, then they're not building it for their employees, right? Because a bank employee take care of account management, but not using the ATM machine. They can be end user, right? But ATM software is not for the bank. It is for the common people who can withdraw money, get a balance inquiry, mini statement, etc. So the first level alpha testing, the customer reviews the product that, hey, as per our expectation, is this product built or not? Then, if customer is happy from their expectation, they further shed out the product to the real users who will be finally using this product. And that's what you call it as beta testing, where the end users are different than the customer. So they give it to their end users or real users and ask them to work on it. And the objective of beta testing is not to test the functionality. Remember, your end users could be common people too, and they don't know what was the requirement. So here the objective of beta testing is to collect feedback. That if end users say that, I wish if you could have this kind of background or this kind of font size, it would be more interactive. It will be more user friendly, right? So we want to hear those kind of uh, feedback from the real users, because sometimes we as a development organization think technically, customers think from a business perspective, but end users think from any angle, right? Just like, you talk about kind of, an amusement park. I can be a developer who is building mechanical equipments to call it out as a roller coaster. A theme or amusement park owner has an objective that, hey, I want two roller coasters. One will be thrilling, second will be extra thrilling. But who will tell you that is it really thrilling or not? The end users. So you have to take a ride. You have to ask the beta users to take a ride and tell them, hey, do you feel scared when you take this ride? Do you shout? Can you express your emotions, etc.? A lot of those things. So alpha is done by the customer, beta is done by the real users. Alpha testing is to make sure that the customer requirements are met, and beta testing is to ask the real users that, hey, are you happy with the product? Do you think, is there anything we can do better before releasing the product to the market, right? So that's how it is. And now the second part, all the very best for your examination. And I hope, I'm pretty much sure that the way you have been interacting, the way you have been asking questions, your preparation has been good. And do let me know at any point of time you think you need any further assistance before you hit your examinations, because I'm always available offline too. Just drop me a comment on any of the video and I'll pick it up from there and respond to you. Right? So, Sam, all the very best, and do let me know your results when you're done with your examination. Okay, I think we got another 10 minutes to go from our live session, and we would like to take most out of this 10 minutes too. If you got a question, do not hesitate. Just drop your comments, and I'll pick it up, talk about it, and respond to you with the appropriate responses. Okay, I think we're waiting for more questions to come up, and we got another 9 minutes to go from this live session. If there are any questions, team, feel free to drop them. We are here to assist you. We are here to help you, here to respond to your queries. So make most out of this opportunity when we connect. And don't forget that this is a weekly call, a weekly live session, which happens every Saturday between 7 to 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. And we look forward to listen to your queries and concerns during this particular video live session. And at the same time, we also encourage our audience to come up with any kind of suggestions, feedback, or recommendations to make the content, make the channel more resourceful for you all, right? So feel free to drop any of your suggestions, recommendations, any of your inputs which you think would add more value, because you are my real users, and you are the best person who can tell me how the content is doing, how you are finding it easy to understand or learn from it. If you think there's anything more can be done to make it better, I'm always open to such feedbacks, right? So make use of this live session to also share your valuable inputs in order to contribute to the channel's uh, greatness, success, and further helping many other your fellow members, like other QA community members, who can look forward to these content to learn more. And don't forget that next week we have some surprise for you. We'll be having a guest on our channel. We'll be talking about testing, and it's just a surprise. I don't want to disclose the name, but yes, you would be really happy to listen to those conversation with that person, especially because it's hard to get that person. And that person, I can just tell you, is a very common word when you talk about testing. The only word which you think about when it comes to certifications, when it comes to software testing, the first name which comes to your mind is that person. And somehow I was able to manage and secure some time with the person, and we'll be having that person on our channel next week. So stay tuned for that, and you would certainly have some great discussions helping you further to add more value. All right, Hamid says, Near sir, I have a suggestion. It would be more great for newcomers if you apply some manual testing techniques and some sample websites in order to get the idea how things are tested in real life. Oh yeah, my manual testing boot camp is already scheduled to do that, so we'll be taking care of all that information. Okay, so yeah, we will be doing all that practical interaction with the system, writing test cases, executing test cases, documenting results, talking about the templates, writing a defect report. All that interaction will be a part of our bootcamp session. So yes, for the newcomers, we that's the reason we started that playlist. We want to give everyone with that all information. George says, I'm looking forward to that. Yes, great. Thank you. And George, for the next weekend. It says, looking forward for the surprise. Yeah, sure. We can always look forward, because I quite often don't do such things, but whenever I have an opportunity, I don't miss it out, right? And good part is that when people like them have some space available, we never want to miss that opportunity. So yeah, that's the reason. So hope that event goes. Who knows? changes in the plan from other side. But yes, we are looking forward to have that person on our channel and showcase to the world that yes, listen it from the expert itself. All right, we got another 5 minutes to go from our live session team. You got any questions? Do not hesitate. Your question is a question to me. I'm all happy here to respond to any of your questions. And never think that your question may sound stupid, may sound silly. No, not at all. For me, all of you are my viewers, all of you are a QA, and all of your questions are valuable. So you just have to drop your question, and I would be more than happy to talk about it because everyone has their own level of understanding on QA. Some people are just getting started, some people don't even know what is testing all about, and some people can be even preparing for their test manager certification. So, your questions are important as per your understanding, right? And for me, every one of you is important. When you have a question, I have to answer, right? So, I give significance to your questions very keenly and look forward to respond to them rather than making fun of it. So feel free and anytime you can just be, kind of comfortable enough, inhesitant to drop your queries, and I would be picking it up and talking about it and giving you at least a very detailed explanation that hey, this is how it works. Yasim, go ahead if you got any more questions to ask. We are still available here for another kind of 3 minutes. If not, 3 minutes, we will just wind up our show and we'll look forward to connect. Don't forget, all my videos have a description, and description contains my contact details. If you think you want to reach me offline, I'm not a difficult person to get hold of. So all you need to do is go to the description. You can find my, LinkedIn profile. You can get my Facebook ID. You can get my Twitter handle, and you can just follow me, or you can ping me. You can get connected with me and ask me your questions other than these live sessions also. Trust me, I keep answering a lot of things around the week. This is dedicatedly when I come up to ask for questions. But I keep getting questions around the week too. And I'm pretty busy responding to them throughout the week. Ami says it was a great session. I'll be regular from now because I always get to learn so many things from your live sessions. God bless you. Thank you so much, Hamid. It certainly gives me a lot of inspiration and makes a lot of sense to me that the motive of keeping this live session is fulfilled, right? When people find it useful. And yes, that's always, sometimes, there are audience here who join but do not have any questions, but they join here to listen to the conversation that it's just knowledge based, right? From others' question also you can learn, others' questions you can really great. And 1 hour in a week, you can always dedicate for your upgradation, your fulfillment of knowledge. And that's not a difficult job. Like out of 7 days a week, 1 week, 1 day, and that to 1 hour, you can just be a participant of this live session and grab a lot of knowledge right from discussions with other people too. So, makes sense. Amit says, keep spreading the knowledge. See you next week. Yes, Amit, thank you so much. Take care. Got another 1 minute team. If we are looking forward to any more questions, I will just see that. If not, we'll just call off the day. But yeah, time is time. I have to be here because there are always people who suddenly join and say, hey, can you please answer my questions before you leave? And I never want to leave them alone, right? So, yeah. So, it's really good when we hear some good comments like about the commitment, about interacting with our audience, getting to know that what they are looking for. We should always spend some time with our, you know, teams who always help you to build up yourself. Like it is a learning for me. If I think there's a question which I could not answer, it is a challenge for me that, hey, Neeraj, you don't know something which you need to learn. George says, I'm glad I joined your live. Hopefully, I'll have time for next week. Have a nice day, sir. Thank you so much, George. Kevin, what is the difference between automation engineer and performance engineer? Uh, a performance engineer or if you say performance test engineer, okay, there's a difference. Performance engineer is someone who builds up the application to meet the performance goals, like creating the profiling, creating the architecture, setting up the expectation of performance. But performance test engineer is a person who tests the system on the performance parameters. But if I take it as automation engineer and performance test engineer, right? A performance test engineer is also an automation test engineer because performance is not done manually. You need an automation tool. The difference between an ordinary automation tester, because automation testing is an umbrella, okay? Automation testing is an umbrella. I have automation testing in security. I have automation testing in, accessibility. I have automation testing in portability. I have everywhere. So whatever testing can be done manually or automatically. So automation testing is a bigger umbrella. You need to tell me which level of testing you are talking about to automate. And performance testing is one of them, right? So performance testing also needs an automation tool, an automation tester. So automation is the fundamental. In order to become automation tester, you need to start with one simple tool. But then you get specialization that, hey, I'm a mobile application automation tester. I'm a performance automation tester. I'm a security automation tester, right? So that's the difference between the engineer and performance test engineer. They are specialized on performance automation testing on top of basic automation. I hope that answers your question, Kevin. And with that, we hit the clock already. We stretched by 2 minutes too. But yeah, as I saw that question, I thought of answering before we wind it up. So thank you all. Thank you so much for your time here. Without your participation, this live session cannot be called successful, and there's no point doing this live session without an audience. So, makes sense a lot to me, and really want to thank each and every participant here for contributing, participating, or just listening to this conversation, which certainly makes a lot of sense to our many other audience who will be watching this live session post completion as a video and learning a lot from your questions too. So thank you so much for participating in, dropping your questions, and listening to the conversation too. At the end, I'll just say that keep looking forward to connect every weekend, Saturday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. We connect every week, 1 hour, to discuss about your questions, right? So that's all from today's live session, team. Thank you so much for joining in. And as usual, I say, so that's all from this particular live session. Should you have anything else, feel free to comment below. I'm always there to address your queries and answer them well. Till then, keep learning, keep exploring, keep understanding the context. Thanks for being a part of this live session, team, and happy learning. Stay safe, team. See you next week. Take care. Bye bye.